more drama in the latest twist surrounding the sale of the Los Angeles Lakers. Team governor Jeanie Buss is contesting that her siblings vote to sell the family's remaining 17.8% share of the Lakers after the other Buss siblings voted to sell their remaining shares to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger at the same $12.5 billion valuation that Mark Walter agreed to last week. Ramona Shelburne has been all over the story and was on Get Up earlier with the latest.
Jeannie's point here is that they can't do anything without her. And she did not even vote in the family vote that took place on Monday morning. She just abstained. And she's pointing, her lawyers have pointed to a 2017 court ruling, a court order in the previous case that she had against her older brothers that said the trust can't do anything without her say so, because this trust, which is what owns the shares of the Lakers, it's not held individually like each of the 6 siblings owns 3%. The family trust owns all 18% of the Lakers shares.
There's a lot of moving parts there, a lot of numbers, percentages, and Jeanie Buss in the middle of all of this, Canty. This feels like drama that just will not go away with this Lakers team. So what do you make of the pending sale here of her, at least of getting rid of the family shares, and Jeanie Buss trying to hold on to it?
It's messy.
Yeah.
Courtney, that's what it is. It's messy. You can't have your cake and eat it too if you're Jeanie Buss. And you got to also remember the context around this. She ousted her brothers, Joey and Jesse, when it came to their roles with the Lakers organization over the last couple of years. And so when you get to this point now with the tag along from the Mark Walter sale to the Iger Kushner group, the Buss family is standing to make $2.25 billion based on the $12.5 billion valuation. And 4 of the family members, 4 of the 6 siblings voted to sell the shares that were remaining in this latest deal. So I just don't understand how Jeanie Buss is going to be able to hold on to the modicum of power that she still has, while all the while understanding that eventually, even under the previous ownership group with Mark Walter, she was going to have to relinquish control, albeit after 5 years.
This is a wild story, and I actually think that this story proves that when you think about the Los Angeles Lakers over the last 2 years or so, the most shocking story we have had around the Los Angeles Lakers is not LeBron leaving. It's not even trading for Luka. It's the fact that Mark Walter sold this team within a year. How do I know that? Why does the tag-along provision even exist? Think about this for a second. The tag-along provision was allowed by the Buss family. What that means, I'm going to try to simplify this, is if Mark Walter were to ever sell, we, Buss family, get to take the 17.8% and the valuation of the sale, $12.5 billion, and we could do it too without even having to be involved in that. There's no way they ever thought that was going to happen. There's no way in their lifetime that they ever thought that was going to happen. And if it was, it would have been 20, 30 years from now. Because you wouldn't, Jeanie Buss would not allow for that if she thought there was any chance she could lose her team in one singular year. Because that is what's happening here. You need 15% or more to be a controlling governor. They have 17.8%. That's all going away now. But here's the one thing I wonder about. Jeanie Buss has been the public-facing representative, owner, governor, president, all of the above, for the Los Angeles Lakers for as long as I can remember. I wonder if the Bob Iger, Josh Kushner group has had any thought of, do we keep her? Not in a governor role, in that we take this 17.8%, let them split it up amongst the 6 of them, and she keeps her share, and she's still a representative for the Los Angeles Lakers, because there is no one outside of Magic Johnson that loves the Lakers more than Jeanie Buss. And I wonder if there's any thought to keeping her and getting rid of everyone else.
What this makes me think of, though, is what happened this offseason when LeBron James says, I want to go finish my career somewhere else. A clean slate approach for the basketball side of things. Is it going to do damage to the organization? This is a storied franchise. They've won a ton of championships. If this continues to hang over it. Do you think it should be a clean break here?
Well, it certainly doesn't help, Courtney, and this is such a consequential offseason for the Lakers because this was the summer where they were going to turn it over to Luka Doncic and allow it to be his team and fully build out this roster around his strengths, but more importantly, to mitigate his weaknesses. That's why they went out and spent all of this money in free agency on Mamu, and they traded for Walker Kessler, and they drafted Cam Carr, and they brought in Colin Sexton. All of these things were in an effort to assuage Luka Doncic and make sure that he realizes that the Lakers are a franchise that he can trust with the heart of his prime. Well, now you're talking about Luka playing for the 5th owner in 3 seasons.
Doesn't seem stable.
Between 2 owners with the Dallas Mavericks and now 3 owners with the Los Angeles Lakers. And so if this is all about what's in the best interest of moving the Lakers forward, the infighting that has now been created by Jeanie Buss with her siblings and how that creates this cloud around the transaction between Mark Walter and the Iger Kushner group, it just makes it a situation where it's hard to have faith in the overall direction of the franchise. And so I like a lot of the things that the Lakers did this summer, but it's not about whether or not I like them or other Lakers fans like them. It's about whether or not Luka Doncic is on board with the state of play in L.A., and whether or not he commits and locks in long term.
Yeah, you're bringing up an interesting point because let's talk about the Luka narrative here. So, Courtney, you are a longtime reporter. Reporters get into a locker room. I covered locker rooms for many years as well, not as closely as you. You get into a locker room, the star player is there. You're asking the star player always about what are the biggest issues in and around the team. If you're going to meet with the Lakers today, you're asking Luka about the tag-along provision. And I don't mean Girl Scout cookies. The tag-along provision. That's what you're asking him. You're not asking him, hey, does Walker Kessler represent the kind of pick-and-roll rim runner and rim defender that Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford did when you made the finals a few years ago? Do you see similar? No. Who do you work for? Do you work for Bob Iger, who's wonderful? We all have worked for him. Do you work for Josh Kushner? Do you kind of still work for the Buss family? Wait, is Rob Pelinka running the team? Is J.J. Redick running the team? Have you talked to Chris Paul at all about anything going on as he has direct ties to all of these people and he's become a great confidant for so many and he's obviously a brilliant basketball man? Who do you work for? These are all questions that Luka has to be asked that he doesn't want to answer, partially because he probably doesn't know the answer.
Yeah.
And he thought he was going from the most unstable of situations, not voluntarily, in Dallas to Los Angeles, which was a stable, family-run business for the better part of our lifetime. And now what is this? So at some point, to Cece's point, Luka becomes the topic of conversation as to whether or not stars are going to run there. You could say it's Los Angeles, it's the Lakers. Every star that everyone is thinking about in their lifetime that has played for the Lakers in the last 40 years played for the Buss family and won a championship.
Yep.
Played for the Buss family. Now, we'll see.
Yeah. The infighting doesn't help because on the surface, it doesn't feel like it's a basketball problem for the team itself as constructed with all the things they did this summer. But further you get down here, it's, to use your word, messy. It's a messy situation that doesn't feel like it's got an end in sight here. The infighting doesn't help anything. And we'll see how Luka responds because you know at some point he's going to be asked about it.
And just quick add-on to this. I know I'm saying I would advocate for her to still be involved. You just nailed the reason why she wouldn't be. They could easily, Iger and Kushner could say to Jeanie, we can't have you here because you can't be fighting with the other 5 siblings under our roof.
Okay.
Do it under your own roof.
Let's leave that one here because something happened in Chicago